Join me for another episode of Doing the Dishes while I talk about stuff that probably doesn't make any sense. Do you use the words failure and success? Because I used to. I try not to anymore. But change takes time, and I'm not perfect. And I will tell you the reason why I don't use the terms failure or success anymore. But first, a story to relate it to my life, as usual, because I don't want to conjure up, conjure up concepts out of nowhere without anything to relate it to. So, here we go. For about a month, so pretty much the entire month of August, just about, I was on a bit of a self-journey kick, which is probably quite apparent through my last videos. So on that kick, I was setting goals, I was making promises to myself, I was keeping up with the goals and promises that I made to myself, and everything was going pretty good. I was feeling confident, I was feeling like I was accomplishing things, I was trying to get rid of my all or nothing thinking. You can check out here, I'll put a little link. It's another cool concept. And then after about a month, I got some really bad news from my parents, and I kind of self-destructed. I fell out of my habits. I had quit social media almost completely. I was scrolling social media a lot. I had started reading, I stopped reading, I had started drawing, I stopped drawing, I started exercising, I stopped exercising, etc. So basically I failed. I failed at continuing to accomplish the goals that I had set for myself. And now, mind you, this failure only lasted 5 or 6 days. 5 or 6 days. So about day 3, I started noticing, wow, I feel like crap. And I was trying to garner for reasons, like, oh, what's causing this? Like, nothing's changed. Like, I got that bad news, but I really didn't think it was affecting me that much. And then I sat back and noticed, I'll link that video up here as well. That was the first video I posted, step 1. I sat back and I noticed, this is actually really affecting me. Oh, my posture's so bad, I'm sore. This is actually really affecting me. Like, and I was crying at work, like, over what happened, and it was just this spiral that I fell into, and the bad habits started back up again, like they do with, you know, with a brain that's been programmed to do a certain thing for 28 years. It just falls right back in, and I kept telling myself I failed. I failed myself. I failed my goals and dreams and aspirations. Around day 3, I really started noticing, like, man, I don't feel good. And then day 4 rolls around, I don't feel any better. Day 5 rolls around, and I go, I stopped doing those things I promised myself I'd be doing. I fell out of the routine. I was kicking butt there for a minute, and now all of a sudden I don't feel good. And once I realized that, I was like, oh, what if I just start doing what I was doing again? Like, what if I just stop letting this affect me the way that it has been? So, yesterday, I made myself a tiny, tiny little promise. Because the first step is the most important to breaking all or nothing thinking. I'll link it up here. And so I took that first step again that I had taken a month ago in order to get myself started. I said one teensy tiny little promise to myself, and I said, okay, I'm gonna move my body for 10 minutes. 10 minutes today, I'm gonna do some kind of exercise. I'm gonna move. I don't care what it is, just 10 minutes. I'm gonna get in my body and remind myself that I am strong. So when I got home, I caught myself sitting on my phone, which again, about a month ago, I pretty much quit doing. And I caught myself, my tea's ready, 1 second. So I noticed myself scrolling on my phone yesterday, and this little voice in my head was like, get up, you made a promise to yourself, you gotta get up, you gotta do what you said you were gonna do. You've been feeling like crap because this is all you've been doing. You know this is why you feel like crap. And I kept just trying to blame what had happened with my parents, the news I got with my parents. And I was like, it's just that, it's not me, it's got nothing to do with me, I can't fix this. And I said, screw it. And I got up, and I sat on the floor, and I started doing isometric muscle exercises, just trying to isolate one muscle set at a time. Just slow, calm, low intensity body movement that helped get me grounded and helped break me out of the thought cycle that was causing me to fall back into these bad habits. And lo and behold, today, with just that 10 minute exercise, which actually turned into 15, I feel better. Because I proved to myself that I can keep promises to myself again. I'm rebuilding that trust with myself, which honestly is really important, because if you can't trust anyone, you can't trust yourself. So the whole time, I was telling myself that I had failed. And in reality, I hadn't failed. And a way you can look at it is, for a month, I succeeded, and then I failed. And now, starting back up, I'm succeeding again. Now, why I don't like the term failure is probably pretty obvious. I know a lot of people don't like the term failure, so it's not really a far stretch, but I will explain anyway. I don't like the term failure because it implies that that's a finish line. I have failed. It's over. That's it. And for that same definition reason, I don't like the term succeed. Succeed implies a finish line. I have done it. That goal is over. That's it. I succeeded. And in my opinion, these are very finite points of mind, viewpoints. You know, they're limiting is what they are. And I do my best to take away limited thinking from my thought process, because at the end of the day, it's the way you think about it that's going to get you to get up off that couch. It's going to get you to do things that improve your life. So I realized that telling myself that I had failed was just as toxic as telling myself that for a month I had succeeded. Because on this journey that we are on, if you continue to set goals with finish lines, then what do you do after that? Like, okay, I reached that goal. Now what? And the euphoria wears off, and the accomplishment and dopamine and epinephrine and whatever the heck kind of serotonin emotions you get from finishing a goal are gone. In moments, they're gone. So success isn't real. It's just a word for a category of things that isn't even applicable to my life personally. And I don't think it should be applicable to your life either. Because if you don't have a goal with a finish line, how can you fail? Where's the failure in having a goal without a finish line? There isn't failing. So instead of using the words failure and success, what if I told you to try using the words achieved and fell down? So for the last month, I achieved a better mindset, better habits, better trust in myself, better thinking. I achieved a lot of things. It's like Xbox, achievement unlocked, you know, the little bar scrolls up. Maybe I'll find a little graphic of it. I don't know. It sounds silly. And then for a week, I fell down. I backed up a little bit into old habits. I just kind of, I lost myself. But because I had no goal, no finish line to reach, I didn't fail at anything. I just fell down a little bit. I took a little tiny step back from the things that I had set up to achieve. And that happens. So if there's no success and there's no fail, you can't sit there and beat yourself up for not having another goal or for not reaching the first goal. It takes shame entirely out of the equation with just a tiny little language change. I achieved this. I fell down doing this. I achieved this. I fell down on this. If you fall, you can get back up. And then every single achievement just stacks on it until you've got like 5,000 little trophy points on Xbox. And I got heated because this is a pep talk to myself because, like I said, for the last week, I've just fallen down. And today, yesterday, I'm getting back up. I'm saying, this will no longer define me because I am on a journey. I am in a process of developing for the rest of my life until it ends. So if I have time, if I tell myself that I have time, then I don't need any finish lines. I don't need any black and white. I don't need fail or succeed. I just need try. Today, I will keep my promise. Today, I will do the one thing that I set out to do. And when I achieve that goal, tomorrow, maybe I can make 2 promises. The next day, 3, the next day, 4. And then maybe the next day, I don't keep any of them. But I didn't fail because for all of those days I stacked achievements and those don't just go away. They're waiting for you. You just have to peel back the curtain, take a step back in, and you gotta say, I'm ready for this again. I'm picking myself up. I fell down. Let's try again. Let's keep trying again. And if you tell yourself that, you will feel the shame melt away. And you will find just a little corner of peace within your universe, within your journey, that can help to continue to carry you through to the end of it and whatever happens beyond. I hope that made any amount of sense. That was a very passionate one for me. I'm very in my feels about what's been going on in my life. And I hope that at least my passion spoke to you, even if the words may not have made any sense strung together the way I put them. So, as always, thanks for joining me and enjoy your journey.